Hey, I just wanted to start this video by thanking you for watching. Every little view means a lot to me, and this is like my third time restarting the channel, so maybe it'll work this time. Anyway, onto the video. Here's how this is going to roll. I'm going to tell you the game, a bit about it, why I like it, and three distinct ratings: art style, soundtrack, and gameplay. Each will get a rating out of 5. Now remember, these are my opinions. Don't take these as fact. Let's get into it. This is Fallout 76, the game playing in the background. You may have heard about it, and how it was absolutely terrible, but this game got a glow up you probably haven't heard about. I've gotten into it recently, and it has been great. NPCs populate the map now, game-breaking bugs are few and far between, it's overall pretty smooth. It's super fun to play, and if you're a Fallout enjoyer who hasn't played this, keep in mind that it's an online game, and VETS does not slow down time. That ghoul will keep running at you. This game is pretty fun. The art style is very reminiscent of the 50s and 60s with its retro-futuristic machines and gadgets. This one gets a 5 in art style. The soundtrack consists mostly of 30s and 40s radio music played diegetically from your Pip-Boy. For implementation and style, this one gets a 4. Gameplay is pretty fun, but not for everyone. My OCD brain goes nuts picking up every little junk and scrap doohickey on the ground, but that's just me. Missions can get a little repetitive at times, as well as combat. Gameplay gets a 3 out of 5. Here's a little bit of footage.
Hey there, would you like to weirdly feel happy and sad at the same time? Well, here's your chance. It's bubbles in my beer.
Watching the bubbles in my beer. But come in, Tom, and give us the lowdown on it.
Tonight in a bar alone I'm sitting,
Yes?
apart from the laughter and the cheer,
That's not good.
while scenes from the past rise before me. Watching the bubbles a vision of someone who loved me brings a long silent tear.
This is Risk of Rain 2. If you live under a rock and haven't heard of this game, it's a third-person roguelike shooter. It's loads of fun and supports up to 4-player online co-op. Just remember to share some items with your friends, huh? Everyone and their mother has heard of this game, so I don't think it needs much explanation on why it's so good. But to sum it up, gameplay is fluid, runs at a good FPS on most computers, the synergies are super fun to make. Art style here is great, cel-shaded beasts of all different shapes and sizes. Fur, flesh, stone, anything you can imagine, there's probably a monster made of it. And the multitude of characters each have their own looks and poses and personalities you can really feel. Art style gets a 5 out of 5. Soundtrack is amazing. Personally, a little slow for my taste at some points, but still great. 4 out of 5. Gameplay is near perfection, but looping too many times will cause everything to turn into a giant ball of flashing lights and noises until you die from a chaff enemy you didn't see behind you. 4 out of 5. Here's some gameplay. This is Ultra Kill. There's not a single thing, not a word, not even a phrase about this game that I can say that hasn't been said already. Go watch the 72 multiple bajillion video essays and come back when you're done. Our style super retro, not particularly unique, but done very tastefully. 4.5. Soundtrack is indescribable. Imagine a drum kit with a million drummers all playing at once, and add screeching sense of classical music in the mix, and you got Ultra Kill Volume 1 Infinite Hyperdepth. 5 out of 5. Gameplay 5 out of 5. I won't even explain it, just watch me terribly play and remember the coin is the deadliest weapon. This is Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, a spin-off of another great game I don't have time to get into, Deep Rock Galactic. Go and look it up, it's a blast. This game is very niche outside the Deep Rock Galactic community. It's a top-down, auto-aim, roguelite shooter akin to that of Vampire Survivors. It's still really fun though, I promise. You play as a little dwarf guy shooting alien bugs and mining rocks and stones. Your goal is to kill a big bug called a Dreadnought at the end of the run. You die, or make it out and keep your materials. Then get permanent upgrades for future runs. This game's pacing is sublime, with a perfect power curve of players and enemies. This game doesn't have co-op support, unlike its original, but it's still super fun alone nonetheless. This game's art style isn't too inspired, it just kind of looks generic. This gets a 3 out of 5 because I think they could have done more, especially with the art style of its original game. Sorry I keep comparing them, but they're near identical, just with some tweaks and perspective changes. Soundtrack is great, but it's also just ripped from the original game. Bit disappointing, but it still sounds amazing. 80 synth all the way. 4 out of 5 for being ripped from the original. Gameplay is great, as I described before. It's very similar to Vampire Survivors and has great gunplay. 5 out of 5.
Please make my arm hair stand up. If it looks good, it shoots better. Everyone knows that. Loot box open.
Big swarm detected. Buggerman, get ready.
I've been dreaming of something like this.
This one is for all of you VR junkies out there. If you ever wanted to fly a plane wherever, whenever, and however you want, look no further than VTOL VR. This game, in my opinion, is far better than DCS, a free alternative with, I kid you not, $3,477.68 worth of DLC on Steam. Now, this game, on the contrary, is very reasonably priced at $30 for the full experience with only a few $5 and $10 DLCs. This game is consistently updated, but it is so in-depth. Every itty-bitty little thing on the plane is simulated. Remember to raise your landing gear. This game contains fully simulated missiles, bullets, and aerodynamic physics. The graphics are somewhat lacking, but maybe that's a blessing so your computer doesn't go up in a ball of flames. 2 out of 5 on the art style, for being bland and not even having shadows. The soundtrack, well, the few tracks in this game that Plane has on the MP3 player are great. High energy epic dogfighting, although not too inspired. 4 out of 5. Gameplay is just mwah, chef's kiss. It is so immersive that the first time I played, I literally braced whenever I crashed. I have VR legs of steel. The only time I ever got sick in VR is, if any of you Vertigo 2 players are out there, drinking the blood chalice in the Church of the Hypercube. 5.5 out of 5. Thanks for watching all the way through. If I caught your attention this long, or if you like my editing style enough to stick around, don't hesitate to drop a sub and like. Thanks, and goodbye.